David EBY has just woken up the beast. Who would have thought giving away Greater Vancouver would infuriate so many people? We have a blue tsunami washing away all of that orange filth across this province. It's like a health cleanse. We are rocking. And people have always said that the tsunami starts in the west and travels all the way across this country. Maybe Canada can be saved after all. It just took the NDP to mess with Graham's retirement. Nobody messes with Graham. Let's get into this report.
Take that, you rascal.
Ah! Ouch!
And stay down.
I'm sorry, Graham.
If there was an election in BC tomorrow, Charities has mapped out what it looks like. The Conservatives would win, not by a little itty bitty bit, by a massive tsunami, 61 seats to 32 seats in a province that is straight up socialist. Conservatives would win a super majority. Check out all of that blue. Even in Victoria region, all of Vancouver Island, basically there's only a few areas left, but I feel like it's just gonna go straight blue after David EBY gave away Greater Vancouver to the Musqueam tribe. This situation has woken up the province saying enough. Graham is not going to accept that her $2-point-something million property went to $0. Yeah, people in BC are waking up, and this is fantastic to witness. Oh, and by the way, the Conservative leadership race just begun. So as time goes on, this is only going to be blue. Here's what the numbers look like. David EBY is collapsing. 47% for BC Conservatives to 39% for the NDP. And the leadership race has just begun. Look who it is. Matt Genereux has spoken in the House of Commons for the very first time as a Liberal MP. What did he have to say?
Mental health crisis. 75% of suicides in this country are men. 75% of drug overdoses in this country are men. Men's life expectancy is 4.5 years shorter. 65% of men delay seeking help. Can the Minister of Health confirm that this government is committed to ending the stigma around men's mental health?
Check out Andrew Scheer. Look at his face. I feel the same way. This guy is truly unbelievable. This is what I have to say about it. How many men in Canada will now have mental health issues because he betrayed his constituents? How many? Because he just joined the party that is propping up the government that is offering MAID to people with just a little bit of depression. He's also propping up the government that just yesterday we found out are providing street candy dens for 16-year-olds. You have to be 19 in order to do all sorts of other things. But in Canada, you only need to be 16. You know, your lunch break in high school, you just walk across the street to one of those candy dens, do your thing, and then go back to school. This is the party that he joined. Think about the mental health that they've created. This guy has zero shame. We got some breaking news. The Liberals and Bloc Québécois have voted in favor to censor the censorship bill, Bill C9. It is now moving forwards, and they're going to be voting on it on Friday or early next week. I'm going to report on it, but this is a reminder. I'm going to leave in the comment section a pre-written letter. Just copy, paste it, send it to your MP. It does make a difference. If there's 100,000 letters that get sent out, maybe there's some Liberal MPs that are going to defect and say no to Bill C9, the one that's going to jail you for 2 years for creating a meme. And it's going to leave it up to our justice system, which is crumbling and failing, to determine what is offensive to people. You know this bill, what it is? It's now you're criminalizing feelings. I feel upset. That's a crime. What have we done in this country? When has feelings became crime? You know why? Because imagine I go and buy a banana at the grocery store and somebody looks and goes, I don't like bananas. And because you are buying a banana, I feel offended. Go straight to jail. That is what we're doing here. Things have escalated quickly. Iran begun laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz, sources say, the critical energy choke point that carries 1/5 of the world's crude oil. So Donald Trump just posted on his social media account, if Iran puts any mines in the Strait of Hormuz, and we have no reports of them doing so, we want them removed immediately. If for any reason the mines were placed and they are not removed forthwith, the military consequences to Iran will be at a level never seen before. If, on the other hand, they remove what may have been placed, it will be a giant step in the right direction. Additionally, we're using the same technology and missiles capabilities deployed against traffickers to permanently eliminate any boats or ships attempting to mine the Hormuz Strait. They will be dealt with quickly and violently. Beware, President Donald Trump. We got some global news now. Across the planet, Mark Carney is seen as the global anti-Trump. You read that correctly. I'm sure this is going to go perfectly fine for the renegotiation of USMCA. We got some more breaking news. Donald Trump, after he did that other tweet I just showed you, tweeted about Mark Carney. He posted on his social media account, Mark Carney, the future governor of Canada. He has not finished trolling Mark Carney. Good news, Canada. Melanie Jolie here says, we're about to be rich. Everybody in Canada is going to be buying Lamborghinis. Get your order in because Lamborghinis are going to be moving off the lots.
Speaker, there are a lot of things we can't control in the world, but many things we can control. And what we can control is definitely how we build one Canadian economy. Good news is the manufacturing PMI. So basically the manufacturing new business activity, my colleague referred to steel, aluminum, auto, etc., is at a 13-month high. That means that businesses are now having more orders, more jobs are created. The tariff has impacted us, but you know what? We have a good plan. We're bouncing back, and we'll fight for jobs.
You heard it from Melanie Jolie. Put your order in for your brand new Lamborghini. The only thing you need to decide now is what color it's gonna be. And don't you love King Carney's face? When Melanie Jolie announces that you are getting a Lamborghini, this is a face of a man that knows it's more likely that you will be visiting the food bank instead of going to a Lamborghini dealership. You're going to absolutely love this one. Canada's Minister of Environment says carbon taxes and fuel surcharge taxes is economic rocket fuel. The economy is absolutely going to boom because of these taxes that they're imposing. We are going to experience a boom like we never experienced before.
Impose a price right at the pump, and if you want to be really clear, it creates an economic opportunity. Mr. Speaker, they seem to like to repeat their question, so let me repeat the answer. Studies have shown the industrial carbon price does not increase the cost of food. The clean fuel regulations do not impose a price right at the pump. And if you want to be really clear, it creates an economic opportunity. I would think that they would like to see that. In fact, according to the Advanced Biofuels Canada Association, it will create or preserve an average farm revenue by $60,000. That should mean something to the members opposite.
The honourable member for...
You heard it from her. We're about to get rich because they're charging taxes. I don't know what country on the planet gets rich from charging taxes. Canada is about to become the first. You're going to absolutely love this one. Yves Blanchet roasts Mark Carney in the parliament. This guy is cooking.
We have big news here in Parliament. Put on your Sunday best. If you look at the Prime Minister's circumnavigating the globe like Marco Polo, he seems to be his own Foreign Affairs Minister. Unfortunately, this minister is not being excessively clear. In fact, yesterday was an extraordinary opportunity for him to explain to Parliament, following his own invitation, what his own policies are. When will he explain his strategic vision for the Middle East?
I'm going to spare you, Mark Carney. He belly-flopped, flip-flopped, has no idea what's happening, and now the planet is looking at Canada as a joke. That's right. Newspapers across the world sees Mark Carney's flip-flop on the Iran situation. Nobody takes us seriously. We got some more breaking news. Putin is looking to halt natural gas shipments to the EU, completely stopping them by year 2028, but heavily reducing it by April. This is our chance, Canada, to get our gas to Europe. Will we step up? Not with the Liberal-led government. Pierre Poilievre, on the other hand, he would approve a project in 6 months.
That EU countries from 25th of April plan to impose additional restrictions on Russian LNG and energy, all the way to imposing a complete ban on such supplies in 2028. In this regard, I've already instructed the government to evaluate the possibility of stopping energy supplies to the European market without waiting for the door to be shut in our face. And those volumes will be shifted to other markets that are more interesting and promising to us. Right now, the market situation is developing in such a way that if we make this transition right now, if we shift to markets that really need increased supplies, we will get a stable foothold there in markets where there is reliable demand and where there are reliable long-term relations. The states that are building long-term relations with Russia, constructive relationships with Russia.
If Canada wants to be an energy superpower, we need to get rid of the Liberal government and elect a Conservative-led government which will approve LNG East immediately. And we start sending LNG across the ocean to the EU, giving them natural gas, which they need, and giving us powerful paychecks. You got to watch Pierre Poilievre and Mark Carney's heated exchange in the House of Commons today.
There have always been wars in the Middle East, but never before did those wars spill onto our streets here in Canada. But after 10 years of Liberal immigration, Liberal open borders, they have allowed criminals, terrorists, illegal guns to enter our country. After 10 years of Liberal catch and release laws that the Prime Minister has not changed one word on, we have criminals released on our streets, and now our synagogues are being shot. Iranian dissidents killed on our streets, and there are 700 IRGC terrorist agents on our streets. What will the Prime Minister do to restore the safety that Canadians had before his Liberal government took office?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we got to go quick here. C-14 changes the bail laws. He might want to read it, definitely wants to support it. That member opposite has voted against every single gun control measure ever put before this House. This government has banned the Islamic Guard. This government's sanctioned over 200 individuals, over 200 Iranian entities. This government is investigating over 17,000 individual cases. We are protecting this country with 1,000 more RCMP, 1,000 more.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
What I voted against was a Liberal approach that has doubled gun crime by wasting billions going after duck hunters, farmers, and legal sport shooters. The Prime Minister is more worried about protecting turkeys from hunters than he is about protecting synagogues from terrorists, Mr. Speaker. That's the real problem. He's got 700 IRGC terrorists in this country. It doesn't matter if they're banned. If they're on our streets, they are a danger. They're shooting up synagogues, killing dissidents, and threatening our people. Will he reverse the Liberal agenda that unleashed this violence on our streets?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we, on this side of the House, we want to protect synagogues. We want to protect community centers. We want to protect places of worship, which is why C9 is before this House today. I challenge the member opposite to put his votes behind his words to protect the Jewish community, to protect communities of faith across this country.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, his solution to synagogues being shot up is to ban sections of the Jewish Torah. Mr. Speaker, that is not our solution on this side of the House. And that's according to his own immigration minister, his own heritage minister. We need to be safe at home. We need to be affordable at home. But even before this war broke out and raised gas prices, this Prime Minister doubled food price inflation and gave us the worst grocery price increases in all of the G7, so excuses about global impacts are not going to work. Will the Prime Minister reverse his new taxes on food, fuel, farmers, and fertilizer so Canadians can afford to eat?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I would suggest that the member opposite read the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which protects the Torah, which protects the Bible, which protects freedom of expression. This House should not be otherwise informed by possible misrepresentation. We should follow the true word that protects all Canadians.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, the question was about food prices. This Prime Minister said he would be judged by the prices at the grocery store. Since he took office, food price inflation has doubled. And this Prime Minister has introduced new taxes that increase the fuel prices of the farmers that feed us. Now, 2.2 million people are lined up at food banks and faced with even worse fuel costs today. So will the Prime Minister the Liberal Prime Minister reverse his latest Liberal tax so that Canadians can afford to eat?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, it feels like Groundhog Day. I'm once again required to remind the member opposite that the impact of the industrial carbon tax on fuel prices is approximately zero. The impact, though, of our trade deals on the farmers in his constituency is absolutely enormous. It is almost planting season, and the farmers of Alberta, Battle River, Crowfoot can plant canola.
That's it for today's report. I'm so excited to have the blue tsunami start crossing BC and head all the way across to Ottawa. It's time for change, Canada, and it's coming. I'll see you on the next report.